The Berlin Wall, erected in 1961, stood as a stark symbol of a divided Europe and the Cold War. It sliced through the heart of Berlin, separating families, friends, and a nation. For nearly 3 decades, it served as a constant reminder of political tensions and the threat of conflict. In the East, movement was restricted and citizens lived under constant surveillance. The West, while free, felt the pain of separation from their Eastern counterparts. The wall became an international symbol of oppression and division, a focal point for protests and pleas for freedom. Its imposing structure served as a constant reminder of the political and ideological gulf that separated East and West. By the late 1980s, change was brewing in Eastern Europe. The Soviet Union under Mikhail Gorbachev was undergoing reforms known as perestroika and glasnost. These reforms inadvertently fueled a wave of dissent and calls for greater freedom across the Eastern Bloc. In East Germany, public dissatisfaction with the communist regime was growing. Economic stagnation and a desire for freedom of movement fueled protests. The fall of the Berlin Wall was the culmination of years of mounting pressure. Key figures like Günter Schabowski played pivotal roles in the events leading to the wall's opening. The atmosphere in Berlin was electric with anticipation and uncertainty. East Germans, emboldened by Gorbachev's reforms, sensed that change was imminent. On the evening of November 9, 1989, Günter Schabowski announced new regulations for East German citizens wishing to cross into West Berlin. His statement implied that the border was immediately open to all. News spread like wildfire, prompting thousands of East Berliners to gather at border crossings. Border guards, caught off guard, eventually relented, opening the gates. The scenes at the Berlin Wall that night were euphoric, with East and West Berliners embracing and celebrating. The fall of the Berlin Wall became an iconic moment, symbolizing the triumph of freedom over oppression. News of the Berlin Wall's fall was met with disbelief, joy, and cautious optimism around the world. Western leaders greeted the event with a combination of euphoria and apprehension. Ordinary citizens erupted in spontaneous celebrations. From Washington to London to Tokyo, people took to the streets, waving German flags and chanting slogans of freedom. The fall of the wall transcended geographical boundaries, resonating with individuals yearning for freedom and democracy. It signaled a major shift in the global balance of power, marking the beginning of the end for the Soviet Union. The United States, under President George H.W. Bush, adopted a cautious approach to manage the reunification of Germany. The fall of the Berlin Wall unleashed a wave of hope and inspiration across the globe. It emboldened pro-democracy movements in other parts of the world. The fall of the Berlin Wall had profound implications for Europe. It paved the way for the reunification of Germany, completed in 1990. The collapse of the wall precipitated the dissolution of the Soviet Union. The post-Cold War era witnessed the expansion of NATO and the European Union eastward. This expansion aimed to promote stability, democracy, and economic cooperation across Europe. The fall of the wall ushered in a period of unprecedented peace and prosperity for much of the continent. However, the transition was not without its challenges, including economic disparities and political instability. Despite these challenges, the fall of the Berlin Wall marked a triumph for freedom and democracy. It led to a more integrated, prosperous, and largely peaceful Europe. The Berlin Wall, once a symbol of division and oppression, has become an enduring symbol of hope and resilience. Its fall serves as a reminder that the yearning for freedom and unity can overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles. The legacy of the Berlin Wall continues to shape our world. It underscores the fragility of peace and the need for constant vigilance against those who seek to divide us. The fall of the wall holds valuable lessons for us today, highlighting the importance of individual courage and collective action. The events of 1989 inspire people globally who are still fighting for freedom, democracy, and human rights. The Berlin Wall may be gone, but its legacy lives on, reminding us that walls can be torn down when people come together for a common goal.